Julie.
I can't top that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that 5? I think that was 5.
I don't know.
It's hard to follow that story, though. Let's end with that one. What are your current fixations?
Our cat, gardening, reading 19th century Jules Verne novels on my phone. It's not very cool. What's your current fixation, Julie?
There was we rescued a squirrel last summer and we
Is that really a
released him.
fixation, though?
Well, I don't know.
That was a current event.
Yeah.
So we released a baby squirrel into the wild, and we've been visiting him occasionally and bringing him almonds.
And hamster food.
And hamster food.
Yeah.
Name something you consider a mind-altering work of art. Any media, not your own.
Julie, you're a visual artist. What do you...
Oh, I always love Christian Volkansky. He does these installations where he blows up old photographs of people, but blows them up over and over and over again, so they're almost ghostly. And then he does these crazy installations where all the faces are on the wall, and there's like these lights focusing on their face. They're like very beautiful and very creepy, and it's almost like you're going in a very old church. It's sort of reverent or like worshipful almost, and I guess looking at, you know, how we're all kind of saints, but it's creepy because some of the people are dead, and yeah, beautiful and creepy. I like Christian Volkansky.
I remember, I'm just gonna go on.
Yeah?
I've been really, when I'm at work, I get to play music, and I've been really revisiting something that blew my mind when I was in my early 20s, which was Norwegian black metal. Just that moment when the music just hits you, and there's like less of a beat than a frequency, and it's this otherworldly, just worshipful is what made me think of that experience of like, do you know what I mean? Like, are you getting?
Yeah.
It's that's I guess my mind-altering piece of art.
What should everyone shut up about?
I've been hearing a lot about the weather.
Yeah.
The weather's just fine.
It's not so much that they should shut up about it, but it's really annoying to me when people say over and over and over again the same thing that they're complaining about, but yet they don't do anything about it.
And
Everyone should complain. If you can do something about it, though, you should.
And you can't do anything about the weather.
No, so.
Go inside.
What was your most memorable day job?
Most memorable day job. I was a security guard a long time ago, and I did a lot of well, it was technically a night job most of the time, but on one occasion it was more memorable than others. I found myself in a GM parking lot. There was no security booth per se. It was a trailer, and for light we had a candle between us, me and Dean. Dean was the other security guard. I'd never met him until that night, and Dean was an interesting fellow. We did a couple of rounds and exchanged pleasantries, but at one point, smoking cigarettes over this flickering candle in the middle of the night in the industrial wasteland of Oshawa, and the candle's flickering. Dean takes a drag of a cigarette, and he looks at me and he says, "Sometimes I think I have problems with my brain." And I was like, "Pardon?" And he went on to tell me how he's certain that Alicia Silverstone was sending him subliminal messages through her films, because he had at one time been in the same bar as what was that hockey player from Oshawa that played on the Oshawa Generals? Christ, I don't follow hockey. Anyway, he went on to be in the NHL, and he knew Mike Myers. So there was the Mike Myers connection, and Mike Myers was in a movie with Alicia Silverstone, thus somehow completing the circle in Dean's head that she was sending him subliminal messages through her subtle body language. To make an already long story a little longer, one of my favorite things that he said to me was, that he had given her the idea to act with her nipples.
What was your strangest celebrity encounter?
Okay, I was working at Tower Records. I just moved to Toronto in 2000. I was working in the basement, which was they sold video like DVDs, videos, whatnot in magazines. And one day, Danny DeVito was in the store, and he was shopping, and we're all like, "Oh, cool, Danny DeVito." Like, I don't know, the twins. not sure how cool it was. I mean, well, Danny DeVito, whatever. It's like, hey, this guy's a celebrity, cool. So he comes up to the counter, and I'm just sort of standing there, and my friend Eric is doing, he's ringing him through. He's DVD after DVD, he's buying a lot of Woody Allen DVDs for some reason. You'd think he might have already owned them all. I guess he was getting a good deal being that the American dollar was. Anyway, so he rings him up, and Eric says to him, now I want to point out that Eric was not very tall, right? And Eric rings him through. He's like, "That'll be $452.29." And Danny DeVito hands him about $420 in Canadian 20s. He's clearly baffled by our money. He doesn't understand. He's like, "There you go. Is that enough?" Eric counts it out, and he looks at Danny DeVito and he says, "You're a little short."